106 KMEL.
DC with you right here on 106 KMEL inside the westernunion.com VIP lounge. Got my man Jidenna in the building. What's up?
Yes, sir. It's good to be here.
Man, so just stepping on the scene, man. Is this your first record ever? Because Classic Man is the joint that you got out right now?
Classic Man. It is the first and debut single.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how long you been working at it, though?
For years, you know. I was in the Bay for a while.
Yeah?
Yeah, and so I got my start out here.
You mean like you stepped on your first stages out here, or you mean you got in the booth the first time?
Stepped on the stages out here.
Okay.
Yeah, I used to perform back in the day, not too long ago, but all in East Palo Alto, Oakland.
Okay.
Yeah, around the city.
What were some of the places that were like notable to you in the Bay at the time when you were living here?
New Parish.
Okay.
Yeah.
You rocked at New Parish?
Yeah.
Ever
yeah,
like
so that was
were you here a couple years ago? They used to do the Monday Soul thing.
No, I moved to New York.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I missed that.
Okay.
But I would have loved it.
Yeah, it was a good event. I mean, cats like Adrian Marcel came out of there, and Netta Brielle, and those folks that are kind of like on the national stage now. So that's why I was wondering if you had ever gotten into that mix at all.
No, I hadn't. I performed with the Roots and Mos Def out here.
Okay.
So and grew up listening to KMEL. So,
really?
Yeah.
That's what's up.
It's a pleasure.
So is it crazy for you to be, you know, that artist that now, you know, grew up listening to the station? Now your record's on the station. You're being interviewed at the station. Like, how does that feel?
Magnificent.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's wild. I mean, you grow up listening to the radio. You hope and you wish when you're a child, but then to have it actually happen is something else.
Okay.
Like, I just heard it on terrestrial radio for the first time.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we got to talk about the style. Because, you know, is this something that, like, were you going to high school in this? Or was it something you developed, like, as an adult? No, that's real. Because I know some cats that were just really dapper at, like, 15. And I was just trying to figure out how to put a tie clip on the right way. You know what I mean? Like, is this new, or has this always been something that you developed and learned how to do from folks? Or
Well, I wouldn't say I learned from anybody. I think I was broke enough to go shop at thrift shops. And at thrift shops, all you really have is an assortment of previous generations' attire. So you're going through blazers of yesteryear.
Right.
So I would go grab those blazers for like $5, $10.
Yeah.
And then go to a tailor and pay him or her $20. And I got a little suit for $25. So it really came out of that. And I was always more concerned with the fit than fitting in. Because before I had tried to keep up with everybody, with the nice little $40 T-shirts and whatever J's were cool at the moment, but it's hard. So it was easier for me to just go to thrift shops and get a suit made.
So trying to get the baller on the budget thing ended up creating a style that I'm pretty sure, like, you know, a lot of folks are looking at you now and trying to really emulate that. You know what I mean? In the way that you're, you know, dressed on stages and in the video and all of that.
Azalea Banks said it best. Broke with expensive taste. You know.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it started with being broke as a young artist, going to thrift shops, but I refined it to really mimic and embody what was going on in the old Jim Crow.
Okay.
I believe that we're living in the new Jim Crow era.
Right.
In a time where there's actually more murders by vigilantes and police officers than there were lynchings.
Right.
That there's more people in the correctional facility on parole, probation, locked up than there were slaves in 1850.
Right.
At the height of slavery in America. So this is the new Jim Crow era, and I want to dress according to the fashion of the times.
Right.
So we may think that we're wearing the fashion of the times, but if you really actually know what time it is, then you'll know how to dress the part.
So it seems like there's a resurgence of retro in a way that you know, is being brought to the forefront by artists like yourself. Do you feel like that's something that's really necessary to bring to the culture? Is just that, you know, that rehashing of old school vibes and, you know, being a classic man and doing things like, you know, folks used to do back in the day?
I think there's a difference between retro and vintage.
Okay.
I think retro, you're just going back to recreate the past. Vintage, you're taking something from the past and making it current. So I think the way that we dress, our whole crew, our culture, but also the sound is both timeless and timely. And I think it's really about quality more than anything. You know, you get something nowadays, that wood is going to break on you in 2 seconds, but you have that old table that you might get from an estate sale or a yard sale. That might last you another 100 years.
Right.
So to me, it's just about quality. And I think that we had the right idea back in the day in America about quality. And right now we need to reclaim that.
Okay. You mean like taking your time and developing something and making it be its best by really putting the work in rather than manufacturing something?
Absolutely.
Okay. Do you feel like that is happening a lot in music now? Is that folks are kind of, you know, maybe trying to manufacture something rather than actually, you know, coming from their heart specifically or doing what they feel to be right with their records?
Yeah, I think music is a reflection of society. And in America, we tend to outsource a lot of our products. So we don't even make products in America
Right.
like we used to.
Right.
So same thing with music. We're definitely processing and manufacturing sounds. And it sounds really crisp.
Right.
But it doesn't necessarily have what we need as humans to survive, which is just pure soul. And I don't mean that in terms of a genre,
Right.
but just the feeling you get.
The experience.
Yeah.
Because when you look at something and it's inauthentic and it feels cheap, it makes it you can read that, right?
Yeah.
Like that's what you mean?
Yeah, I mean, like I feel like artists like Young Thug have soul.
Right.
When I first heard Danny Glover, I felt that.
Yeah.
Like he wasn't making that for anybody but just himself and anybody who felt it.
Right.
It wasn't a manufactured thing. So I don't believe that soul is just a genre. It's actually the artist just being raw and genuine.
Okay. Jidenna right now in the westernunion.com VIP lounge. So let me ask you this. If you had to give me one word to describe what a classic man is, what would that be?
Swanky.
Swanky. So not like not like swaggy, not like what does swanky mean? Like elaborate on that for me.
Swanky means that you are classy and you're funky.
Okay.
I feel like that word encapsulates both sides of it. You got to have a little funk.
So that's what you see when you see a cat that has his outfit together, whatever that outfit may be, or steps into the room and brings a class to the room. Yeah. You look at that dude and you go, that's a swanky dude.
Yeah, because he has a little attitude to him.
Yeah.
Make your face up a little bit like, man, I wish I had that suit right there. Yeah,
all right. That's
can't just be chic. It's got to have a little edge to it.
What are the pieces to the collection of a classic man? Like what should that man have just to be able to step out into the world every day?
Well, I mean, I think that it's not really about a three-piece suit. I don't think it's about suits at all. I think it's about how you carry yourself and whatever you wear. Mm-hmm. You can wear a V-neck, a fitted cap, or a snapback and some denim jeans and still be a classic man.
Right.
So I think just having a fit that's tailored to you and your body is one. Two, maybe having a flask somewhere tucked inside. And three, a gas mask. You know, these times are wild right now in America. So if I don't know, whatever city you're in, you might want to have a gas mask in your little man purse.
And clearly you've lived in Oakland before, so you can understand why that would be a necessity.
Clearly the station nearby my house was Fruitvale.
Oh, yeah.
So clearly I know that history very well and was here around that time.
Okay,
yeah.
Word.
So R.I.P. Oscar Grant.
Absolutely. How do you feel like the times, you know, with the Oscars being last night and, you know, John Legend and Common getting on that stage and saying what they said, how do you feel like that it really speaks to where we are, bringing up Oscar Grant and, you know, situations like that?
Well, I think it's a blessing and truly a great honor that John and Common won. I think that I had a chance to actually meet Common during the Grammy weekend, and it's an exceptional moment whenever we win something like that. So I think them winning is really a symbol to all of us, especially those people on the front line, demonstrating and pushing our struggle to the forefront of media. I think that's a symbol that we are on time and that we will get heard.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's up next for you in regards to, are you going to, you know, really try to get out and rock this single and make this going to, you know, be like the standard for where, you know, you feel like music should be? Like, because it sounds different, but it doesn't sound different because, like you said, it's authentic and it hits you, you know?
Well, next up is actually Wonderland Records is putting out a compilation on called The Ephes.
Okay.
It's in May. It's dropping, and Janelle Monáe, of course, will be on it.
Right, who was also in your video.
Absolutely, absolutely. We have a record coming out as well together shortly. We have Deep Cotton, Roman John Arthur, who's featured on Classic Man, and then Saint Beauty. So we're all dropping a compilation in May. That's next up. We're all super juiced, It's going to be exciting. It's going to be fun.
Okay.
I think it's going to bring the energy that people need from music right now.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you want to be the guy that changes the party?
I am the guy that changes the party. I change the party into soirees.
Okay, well, hopefully I get an invite to one of those soirees.
Oh, absolutely.
Brother,
Come to Brooklyn.
I got to make sure to put my joints on. I'm not going to have you embarrass me again. You know what I mean? You got the pocket watch on and all of that, fam. It's crazy. All right, shout out my man Jidenna in the building right
Thank
now.
you, DC.
WesternUnion.com VIP Lounge, just 106 KMEL. Thank you for coming, my man.
Appreciate you.
For sure.